Hey everyone, how's it going? Riser here. So today we're going to cover the Amulets of Sakura Kakumei. We're going to go through every single one of them as I've just translated all that are in the game so far. That's around 68. This is including the ones from the new event, Angelica's Kyushu Samurai Training something, I forget. And as time goes on, of course, I will translate all of the new ones that come in as well. If I don't have any, please send it to me. Discord is going to be the easiest way to do that. First thing we're going to do is start off with the basic overview. What are amulets? This is a pretty easy answer. They're just like your craft essences, your worm prints, your general gear from any other mobile game. Amulets themselves increase your HP and or attack. There are some that are HP oriented, some that are attack oriented, but it seems that it'll never break past 300, so it'll be a value of 300 in general for that amulet. So either you'll have 150 attack, 150 HP, or you'll have 300 HP, 300 attack. So far, I haven't seen any other amulets deviate from this rule. 1-star and 2-star amulets are used for experience for 3-star, 4-star, and 5-star. And this is because 3-star, 4-star, and 5-star amulets actually don't yield much experience. 1-star and 2-star amulets do, and this is intentional, as stated from the Twitter of the Sakura Kakumei. You should be using the low rarity amulets to increase your high rarity ones. So this is intentional game design. Overall, 1-star and 2-star amulets are pretty worthless. There's only like a handful of good 2-star ones. Otherwise, all of them kind of don't really matter, as the niche that they try to fill isn't done properly enough. So we're going to go over the 1-star ones. First up, we have the Amulet of series. This is the Amulet of Earth, Fire, Water, Wind, Moon, and Sun. And there is also one of Spirit, which is a bit more special. But all of these amulets do is increase the defense against that attribute. So if you're using the Amulet of Fire, it increases your defense against fire enemies by 3%. The only one that doesn't do just a 3% increase is the Amulet of Spirit, which obviously has a picture of Sakura on it. And this increases your defense against all attributes by 3%, but decreases attack against all attributes by 5%. So while you may be able to take a little, I mean a little, bit more damage from enemies, you're also doing less too. Funnily enough, this amulet will mirror one of the 2-star amulets. Next up, you have the messages. You have the advance message, the charge message, and the retreat message. These increase your attack by a small percentage when you charge, advance, or retreat. The only one that does less is charge, which is 5%, while advance and retreat do 10%. It's a bit weird, but I don't know why. Then next up you have are the tags. You have your attack tag, your defense tag, and your energy tag. These are literally at the bottom of the barrel. The only one that has any use is the energy tag, and that's only if it's maxed out, as it increases your energy by 5% at its base, which is a good running start if you don't have any other amulets that can help that out. And then you have one last 1-star, Respect for My Health. At least that's how I translated it. It could be translated to something totally different, but it recovers 100 of your HP at the end of your turn. This is a unique one for sure. There are other amulets that will have the same ability, some for the whole party, which are way better, but this one's just unique in its own way. Again, it's not really necessary since I'll talk about one of the 3-star amulets that does this job better. Next up, you have the Spirit Vein series, which are all the 2-stars, and they're all like monuments, architecture, landscapes that are famous to Japan. Most of them do an okay job at whatever they're trying to improve at, but for the most part, there will be a 3-star amulet that does this job way better anyway. But if you're just beginning, maybe some of these could be useful for you. I'm just going to run through them as fast as possible, so here we go. Spirit Vein, Mazula's rock ship. Increase your attack power by 15% when you retreat. Spirit Vein, also, increase the attack power of fire maidens by 3%. Spirit Vein, Ebisui rock and Daikokui rock. Recover 200 HP at the end of your turn. See, remember I was talking about the something about your health one, the 1-star one that increased 100 at the end of your turn? This one does 200, so it already is outdone. Spirit Vein, Gosha Katani Kogoishi. Increase your attack power by 10% when you charge. Spirit Vein, Kakitagawa Water. Increase the attack power of water maidens by 3%. Spirit Vein, King Gun Falls. Increase your energy by 10%. Spirit Vein, Matsushima. Increase the attack power of moon maidens by 3%. Spirit Vein, Mount Kurama. Increase the attack power of wind maidens by 3%. Spirit Vein, Mount Fuji. Increase the attack power against all attributes by 3% and decrease your defense against all attributes by 5%. So remember how we were talking about the Sakura one, the Amulet of Spirit? This is just the reverse of that. I don't know why you would use it since the defense is 5% less. If the attack was 5% also, it would be worth something, but it really isn't. The Amulet of Spirit is obviously the better one in this case, which is weird since it's a 1-star. Spirit Vein, Saiba Gogoku. Increase your HP by 100. Spirit Vein, Senjogahara. Increase attack by 15%. Spirit Vein, Takachiho. I actually don't know what this one means. It says increase attack power by 3%. I wrote it, but I put a question mark because I think there's some other rule to it, but I'm not 100% sure. Regardless, a 3% is nebulous at best, so whatever. Spirit Vein, Yakushima. Increase attack power of Earth Maidens by 3%. Spirit Vein, Yatate Cedar. Increase super attack power by 10%. That's pretty good if you don't have anything else that does that. And that's it for the Spirit Vein series. I like them, to be honest. I like the art. I feel like a lot of them really just don't serve their niche very well. Like, let's say the ones that had increased the certain Maiden of Element attack by 3%. If that started off with a 5% and ended off at 15%, then they would be somewhat useful. But starting at 3% is kind of pointless. I mean, you'll max them out, and which is why I think they should start at 5%. Eventually you'll max them out. But yeah, the only one I really think is that great is the Yatate Cedar in the Ebisui Rock and Daikokui Rock. Those two are the best ones so far. Next one we have is the 3 stars, which all seem to follow again the same kind of theme, which I would call it the character possession. These are only a character's possession or something they really like. So we're going to start off with the brand newest one, Angelica's hair ornament. Increase all allies' energy by 5% when they are on the same line as you. This only happens once during the beginning of the match. That's it. I can't imagine many times when your characters wouldn't start on the same line, unless the character's ability stated otherwise. So this one is just 5% energy at the start. Next one is the Commander's Pocket Watch. Restores 500 HP when you use command order. So in reality, 1500 HP can be recovered when you use an order. Next one, Famed Sword Excalibur, which is just a katana. Now that might be something, because I'm not the biggest Sakura Wars lore person, so maybe this is something that they would understand. If so, someone please explain to me what Excalibur is. But this increases your attack power by 10% when you attack demon enemies, so this will work really well with Sakura. Fuka's Sesame Senbei recovers 300 HP for yourself at the end of your turn. So again, like that 1 star I mentioned before, 3 stars like this are just outdoing it in every single way. And that's just base. Again, this is all just base stats. Next one, Fuka's Toolbox. Recover 100 HP for all allies at the end of your turn. Now there's another higher rarity amulet that does this also, but the base is 200. When you reach this one to max, it restores 200 HP for all your allies at the end of your turn. So it matches that higher star rarity only after it hits its end. But this one is definitely a must-have. Once you get it, max it out. If you can get 2 of them maxed, I think it'd be even greater. That's 400 HP every turn getting healed. Next one is the hometown of Aogashima. Increase your energy by 1% at the end of your turn. I believe the max is like 5% or so. So a 5% increase at the end of your turn seems pretty good. If you can max it out, I would take this one. This would be really good on your direct types, the characters who are moving forward and advancing a lot. That way they're at least getting more energy gain. Imperial Theater Dressing Room Mirror. Increase your energy by 5% and recover 500 HP each wave. So only twice, that's 10 energy. Well, some battles have 5 waves. In general, that'll only be 10 energy and 1000 HP. It's one of the ones I wouldn't really say you need. I think if you have one that just recovers HP in general or gains energy per turn, I think that's way better than clearing waves. Famed Sword, King. Increase super attack power by 20%, amazing. You can throw this on Sakura, you can throw this on any shooter, and they're going to have an amazing time defeating enemies, especially bosses. Mamiya's Gloves. Increase your attack power 15% when you and the enemy, except when they appear, are not moving. This doesn't count when an enemy spawns. This only counts when, like, after turn 1, the enemy and you are just standing right in front of each other, or let's say the enemy is a ranged enemy, it's not going to move, and then Mamiya uses a charge attack, she's just attacking the enemy head on like that. There's a lot of amulets that are like this, like as long as the enemy isn't moving or after they move. There's a lot of situational ones. Maze Pen, 10% chance of reducing your cooldown when you retreat, only once. Again, I feel like for most beginners, especially since there's sort of a soft lock on progression right now, this really isn't very useful, and only once can't really help you. And you know, it's a 10% chance, and most people who are starting out aren't going to have that second skill anyway. So even with late game, I just don't see this one helping out too much. Mutsugudo-chan. Increase attack power by 20% when you're retreating. Pretty good one. It's a pretty high amplifier. Another good one to have. Nadeshiko's Brumide. Increase team's energy by 5% when retreating, only once. Again, I would suggest just having one of those that increase your energy by a percentage every turn, then something like this. This one doesn't have a place when those exist. Now Sumi's Evening Drink Set. Increase energy by 20%. So now we're getting into terms of like things like Kaleidoscope or Imaginary Element like an FGO. Sooner or later, there will most likely be a pretty high percentage energy increase at the beginning of battle, and 20% is a pretty good increase. And again, that's just his base number. So if you can max this one out, that'd be great. Old Style Kobu. Increase your attack power by 15% when you charge. Again, a decent one. Works better for your shooter types than anything else. Next one is the Psychic SLR. Increase attack power by 15% when there are no allies in the line before you. So this means like if you're in the back or two characters are ahead of you, that kind of thing. It doesn't say anything about characters being on the same line as you, but I'm assuming a character at least has to be in front of you. Next one is Regular Theater Sakadafu, which I think it's that's a mistranslation on my part. I think it's mobile theater or something like that. But anyway, increase your attack by 20% when advancing. Again, just like Mutsugudo-chan, a pretty good amplifier. This is a good one as well. Max it out. Next one, Wren's Love Gun. Increase your attack by 15% when you're on the final line. Now this obviously works well with Wren. One of her passive abilities is to increase her attack power when she's on the final line. So it pairs really well with her. Next one is Shino Sakura Mochi. Recovers 1000 HP of all allies other than yourself when retreating. So I can only assume this would probably go well with like support types. Next one is the Sumi no Miya Family Library. Increase your defense against your weakness by 10%. I can imagine people would take like a fire unit to a water fight on purpose for this to happen. So realistically, this only really works with Sun and Moon characters, but there are way better amulets to have than this on them. Next one is the Kokuta Gekidan First Performance Pamphlet. Increase your energy by 10% when you defeat an enemy. There is another amulet that is just like this that does a similar effect but higher. But if you don't have it, this is a good one to have. This is best on shooter types since normally they finish enemies pretty quickly. Next one is Tenjin Family Guardian Dog Takami. Increase your maximum HP by 900. Just a solo character, by the way. But 900 is a lot. So say you throw this on a shooter type, most of them can barely, like in the early levels, they can barely break 2000. This will easily make them push that number, increasing their survivability just a little longer. In my opinion, I think it's best on spotter types who already have a lot of HP and you just want them to take as much as possible. Next one is Uchika Sensei's Thin Book. Increase your energy by 5% when you use a command order. Next one is Use Shoes. Increase your attack power by 25% when making attacks that involve line movement. This one is great. This is one of my favorites so far because so many characters have a passive ability that allows them to do more damage, such as Sakura Shino or you herself, where if they move, they do more damage. So you pair that with Sakura's, which is, I believe, if she advances, she gains more attack power. So she advances, her passive kicks in, and then this one kicks in as well. It's a great bonus. So this one, definitely max it out. Next one is Angel in White Uniform. Recover 200 HP after every turn. This is the one I was mentioning earlier. If you don't have this, Fuka's Work Desk obviously replaces it, but this one is definitely a lifesaver. Next one, Battleground at the Table. Increase your attack bar by 20% when you and your enemy, except for when they appear, so again, the beginning or when a new enemy spawns, when they are not moving. Next one, Blue-Eyed Samurai. Increase attack power by 20% when you attack an enemy with a sword possession trait. There are some enemies that are holding weapons that look like swords. I'm going to assume that's sword possession. In reality, it might just be weapon possession. Next one, Kyushu's Magical Girl. Recover 2000 HP for the whole team besides yourself when retreating. There was already one that was just like this earlier. This is just the amplified version. A lot of the 4 stars are amplified versions of the 3 stars that we have now. Next one, Legendary Sage. Increase your attack power by 20% when you're on the final wave. Again, I feel like you would probably want to go with something a bit more, like this works for bosses, of course, but it's a 4-star, so it's kind of harder to get it maxed out for it to do like that really devastating damage that you want it to do, and you're better off having a better support amulet in the case of this one. Like if you were to max this out, perfect, but I don't know, I would go with something else, something that will kick in every turn or more often than just this. This is only your final wave. Like if you're doing a battle that's only a boss, then fine, use it, because that first wave is obviously the final wave if it's just a boss, right? Otherwise, I would just find something else. Next one, My Cute Creation. When you're on the front line at the end of your turn, increase your defense by 5% one time. Again, it's just a one-time use. There's way better ones to have. Something more of the lines of increasing energy every turn or healing every turn is way better than this. And 5% is pretty negligible. Next one day I'll see the sky again. Increase your attack power by 20% when you attack hollow enemies. I have no clue what hollow enemies mean. It could possibly mean the demons if they have a hollow trait to them. Unfortunately, we don't have a list of enemies and their traits associated with them, or at least I haven't found one yet. I'm unclear about this. If I do find out what hollow enemies are, I'll definitely tell you, but for now, I don't know. Next one is Shudder Chance. Increase your attack by 20% when there are no allies in the line behind you. Again, this is just another upgraded version of the 3-star one we saw earlier. Next one, this is for Hayato. Increase your energy by 15% when you kill an enemy. Upgraded version of the one we talked about before. If you have this, use it. To the Sea of Stories. Increase your energy by 5% when an ally defeats an enemy. A really good one. I would put this on your spotter types because normally they're not going to kill enemies. They just won't. So having your allies kill everyone else and then you gain the benefit from that is way better anyway. Next one, Birth of a Swordsman. Increase your attack power by 30% when attacking an enemy with a sword possession trait. This is the amped up version of the one we saw earlier, the blue-eyed samurai. Next one, Black Kyushu performance in your hometown. Increase super attack by 10% when all allies use their super attack in the same command. So that's when all three of you use your super attack at once. It increases by 10%. I don't really see an occasion to use this as often, except, you know, on a boss. For the most part, let's say you're fighting a really tough boss. Normally, I just use my special as soon as I can. And I feel like a 10% increase isn't going to really change my mind on using it earlier. Characters die pretty fast in this game, so I want to use it as soon as possible, especially since there isn't like a 101% that goes to 200. It's just 100. I would rather just keep it at that, like, and then use it and then hopefully charge it up again. If everyone has it, great. But when that time comes, I'm not sure a 10% chance would really make me think I'm going to hold it for everyone else. Next one is Computer Lord. Increase your attack by 25% when you and your allies are not in the same line as you. So as long as you're alone by yourself, you can get a huge increase of attack. 25%. It's a good percentage. Next one, I'm the lead actor. When alone, increase attack by 45%. When alone, increase defense by 15%. And by alone, it means there are no other allies there. Next one, Samurai Angie is here. Increase energy by 10% each wave, recover 800 HP each wave. There was earlier, I think it was a 2-star, maybe it was a 3-star, that does the same thing as this. This is just your really buffed up version of it. Up next, Blue Cloud's Ambition. Increase your unit's max HP by 1,200. This is everyone in it. This is similar to that King Craft Essence in FGO. Very similar, it's the same one. And this is stackable too. So let's say you had 3 of these. You could stack these, put them on every single character. You put the 3 on 3 different characters, and you get 3,600 HP for each of those characters. So it's very cool. It's very, very cool. If you get this, be lucky. Hopefully you can get a second one. Like, this is the kind of thing that changes life or death against bosses. And then last one, Transmitting These Feelings. Increase the team's energy by 20% when retreating. Only once. Again, I feel like something that increases energy percent by turn is way better. If you're fighting a boss, the fight's going to be long anyway, because most likely they're going to take quite a few of your super attacks anyway. So having something that'll increase your survivability would probably be better anyway. And that's it, finally. So that's all 68 so far that are in the game. Hopefully you've picked up on which ones are valuable to you. The ones I say are good, it's just subjective. Those are how I feel. How you use them is really how it matters. I'm not a fan of tier list. I'm not a fan of ranking things in general. So I feel like there's plenty of people who can use these in unique ways and make it work. But I'm just here to give you the information, that way you can make a decision on your own to see which one best works for you. And that's it. So I'll see you guys next time. I'll try to talk about some more tips and tricks. I'll try to think of some topics. This is the biggest one I wanted to get out of the way. I wanted to make sure everyone knew all of the amulets. They're the key, pivotal thing to gameplay. And if people don't understand what's going on, then they're going to have a hard time playing. With that, I'll see you guys next time for more Sakura Kakumei. Peace out.